A shocking revelation from Mendeecees Harris is rocking the whole love and hip-hop community. His abrupt termination from the show was a mystery to fans, but now the truth is out. And it's far worse than anyone could have predicted. Backstabbing, betrayal, and covert transactions. Mendeecees is finally expressing his truth. And let's just say that certain people don't want this knowledge to be known. Rumors of financial difficulties have been circulating for weeks. A covert conflict with the industry. Was he put up behind the scenes or what? However, viewers were in disbelief when Mendeecees went live and revealed everything. And believe me when I say that this narrative is much more than a reality TV drama. It's about loyalty, retaliation, and a betrayal so profound that even Yandy wasn't prepared for it. What specifically did Mendeecees disclose? What is causing the network to rush to repair the damage? Hold on tight, for this story is going to take some unexpected twists, and by the conclusion, you'll be doubting everything you believe to be true. In quiet, Mendeecees sat with a determined and frustrated expression on his face. Rumors, whispers, and downright lies about his departure from love and hip-hop had been rampant over the last 2 weeks. The fans conjectured that he had left, that he had been fired due to poor ratings, or that he had been forced out due to a contract issue behind the scenes. However, Mendeecees was aware of the reality and refused to let anyone try to change his account. The world was going to hear his side, and it was much messier than anyone had anticipated. He inhaled deeply, picked up his phone, and pressed go live. The comments were inundated by admirers as soon as the live video began. What took place? Why did you get fired? Could this be related to Yandy? For a brief while, Mendeecees simply shook his head while grinning knowingly and looking into the camera as the questions came in quickly. Not only was he going to provide them with answers, but he was also going to reveal the shocking information that would leave the whole cast of Love and Hip Hop reeling. With a calm but tense tone, he said, "I see you guys have been talking. Also, I hear a lot of tiny stories circulating. I went away, they say. Not at all. They claim that I was fired because of my contract. Not at all. Let me explain what actually happened." As soon as he uttered those remarks, the comments went wild. For a considerable amount of time, Mendeecees allowed the suspense to grow. And at last he said, it had nothing to do with contracts. Ratings were not the issue. The topic was treachery. Someone I was close to and trusted betrayed me. Because I knew too much, they wanted me to go. The fans were taken aback. For whom might he be speaking? Did someone from production do it? Another member of the cast? Or was it Yandy? Worse. He leaned towards the camera more. Look at this sector. The key is control. And when you start acting contrary to their wishes and breaking their rules, they start looking for methods to cut you off. And I experienced precisely that. The audience was tense and waiting for him to say anything. However, a comment that appeared on the screen before he could tell the entire story caused him to hesitate. It came from a reputable account belonging to a significant industry player. "Be careful what you say, Mendeecees." The comment said, "You are aware of their presence." Mendeecees laughed and shook his head. "See, this goes all the way down. They do not want me to speak. However, I'm not afraid." Suddenly, the atmosphere in the room changed. Now the issue was a cover-up rather than only a termination. Mendeecees was hinting at a more significant underground activity that Love and Hip Hop didn't want to be known. And it became increasingly obvious that he had been set up the more he spoke. Then Yandy abruptly joined the live stream. The remarks got out of control. "Oh my God, Yandy is here. Will she reveal him soon? What is happening?" "Oh," Mendeecees grinned as her name appeared. "Oh, you want to pay attention now? Do you want to hear what I have to say now?" There was a brief period of silence. Yandy then asked to participate in the live event. Mendeecees were hesitant. He was aware that letting her go could escalate the situation significantly. Nevertheless, he had nothing to conceal. He granted the request, and Yandy's visage followed him on the screen in a matter of seconds. Her expression was strained and unreadable. "Mendeecees," she began, speaking more softly than usual. "Are you certain you want to do this?" Simply asking the question startled the listeners. Fans started wondering right away if she was warning him. Did she want to prevent him from talking too much? Or had she been complicit in whatever had occurred? He folded his arms. Mendeecees. I don't need to know. I've already completed it. Yandy shook her head and let out a sigh. Look, I'm aware of your anger. You feel deceived, I know. But going live in this manner, that's not the way. Mendeecees chuckled sorely. Yandy, no. The method involved managing matters behind closed doors. Trusting those who were meant to support me was the route. You know what? For me, that didn't work out so well, did it? Yandy's eyes flitted, but was it guilt? Are you frustrated? It was unclear. Then she mentioned something that made a huge difference. Mendeecees, you weren't fired. They set you up. The remarks were furious. Fans were exploding. What was it she meant? Oh, by whom was he put up? And why was this the only thing she was saying? Mendeecees tensed his jaw and leaned forward. Yandy, then tell them. Remind them who did it. Yandy paused and briefly looked away. She then inhaled deeply before whispering, It wasn't me. But I am aware of who it was. Mendeecees' face darkened. He simply stared at her with a strong sense of betrayal in his eyes without saying anything. The audience waited anxiously to hear what she would say next. But before she could say anything, the live stream abruptly cut off. Suddenly, the screen turned black. The fans were stunned. Did the platform terminate it? Did Mendeecees put a stop to it himself? Or was the truth being tried to be suppressed? There was no doubt about it. This was only the start of something far larger. What about Mendeecees? He was not letting up. Mendeecees was shocked by the commotion he had caused. Everyone was now seeking answers after his mysterious social media post rocked the love and hip-hop audience. There were a lot of rumors circulating, ranging from legal issues to feuds that occurred behind the scenes. However, what did Mendeecees say? Nobody saw that coming at all. Yandy was pacing back and forth at home while rumors took over the internet. Mendeecees wasn't picking up when she called him several times. She was familiar with her husband, who either fought his way out of a tight spot or made a move so unexpected that no one could predict it. She was afraid that he was going to do something careless right now. They didn't need any additional drama. Mendeecees, though? He was sick of being cautious. That evening, an unexpected Instagram live notice appeared. Go Live was Mendeecees. Thousands of followers quickly joined, curious to hear his version of events. As the picture wavered, he appeared, seated in a poorly lit room with a strained, unreadable expression on his face. Okay, pay attention. They won't quiet me any longer. You guys have been speculating and chatting, but I'm going to correct the record. The conversation burst into flames. In an attempt to find out what actually happened, viewers bombarded messages with question marks, fire emojis, and anxious remarks. Before revealing the shocking information, Mendeecees inhaled deeply. I wasn't fired because I wasn't adding drama, nor were they fired because of my ratings. I was dismissed because I was too knowledgeable. Quiet. Then the mayhem. The comments came in like lightning. Individuals were going crazy. Yandy felt sick to her stomach as she watched on her phone. Why was he doing it? With his voice down, Mendeecees leaned in closer to the camera. This program. They kick you out if you don't play the game the way they want you to. But me? It's a business, not just a performance. I saw things I shouldn't have seen because I peeped too much. The crowd was captivated. This was more than just an irate reality star complaining about getting fired. This was a more significant matter. Mendeecees was obviously not scared to go there. In a panic, Yandy called him once more. What was in his mind? There might be severe repercussions if he disclosed too much information. Mendeecees, however, had already gone too far. He was prepared to spill the beans. Let me share with you a story about their private meetings. You think this is real? You think these conflicts and scandals just happen? No. They choose who gets to be the villain and who gets to be the fan favorite. The audience was fascinated by it. They plan it all. And when you don't follow along, you get replaced. Instagram was barely keeping up with the volume of comments. He began to disclose more when other reality TV stars joined the live stream and used horrified emojis. Mendeecees was about to continue when Yandy's name appeared on his screen. He was hesitant. He would use momentum if he responded. Disregarding it, it can worsen the situation. He declined the call with a swipe. Yandy returned home and sighed in frustration. She grabbed her keys and whispered under her breath, "Mendeecees, what are you doing?" She needed to reach him before things got out of hand. The creator of Love and Hip Hop, Mona Scott Young, had already been informed in the meanwhile. The buzzing on her phone continued. PR departments, producers, and even cast members were contacting them to inquire about how they should respond to this. This was not a small eruption. Rather, it was a serious problem. Mona didn't panic easily. She'd dealt with more serious scandals previously. If, however, Mendeecees was truly going to reveal the inner workings of the show, it was risky. It wasn't simply risky for him, either. End this now. You don't want this smoke. Mendeecees grinned as a message appeared on his screen. They were alarmed. Well done. Look, they're observing. Let's talk about contracts. Have you ever wondered why certain cast members remain on the program for years while others leave overnight? They're already trying to silence me, but I'm not done. When you cease allowing them to dominate you, they cut you loose. It's not just about ratings. Yandy suddenly rushed into the room. "Mendeecees, please stop," she begged, grabbing his phone. But he withdrew. "No, Yandy." His screen abruptly went black before she could counter. "I'm done playing their game." They had stopped the live. Fans were shocked beyond belief. The social media world went crazy. Was the network blocking him? Has a production person stepped in? Or did Instagram cut him off because of the overwhelming amount of users? Nobody knew. One thing was clear though. Mendeecees had just declared war on hip-hop and love. He was also not going to back down. As the storm burst all around him, Mendeecees was astounded. Since rumors of his dismissal started to circulate, the reality TV industry had been in flames. What hurt the most, though, was how many people he had once thought of as family were abandoning him. Then, in the final betrayal, an insider from the production crew revealed the alleged official reasons for his dismissal, portraying him as a burden to the show and a challenging collaborator. Mendeecees was incensed. His silence had been too long, but now, it was time to get his name cleared. He sat at home and scrolled through countless messages and comments, some from supporters and many from people who had already written him off. Mendeecees got too comfortable, and they booted him, one comment said. He thought he was untouchable. "Guess Mona proved him wrong," said another. His phone was constantly ringing with calls from old co-stars, reporters, and even some industry insiders who wanted the real tea. He wasn't yet prepared to speak though, not until he had the opportunity to share his perspective. From the other side of the room, Yandy could see the fire in his eyes. With a tough yet gentle tone, she stated, "You can't let them control the narrative. You understand how this sector operates. If you remain silent, they will continue to distort the facts." Mendeecees let out a harsh sigh. "You don't realize that? Well, it's more than a simple miscommunication. You know very well that I didn't do half of what they're accusing me of. And they're painting me as someone I'm not." Yandy nodded, sitting next to him. "So, what is the next step? Because reading comments while you're confined up here won't make anything better." Mendeecees wiped his face before turning to face her. "This evening, I will go live, and I will rectify the situation." Yandy's eyes grew wide. "Are you certain that's the best approach? You know they'll try to misrepresent your words." "Let them try," retorted Mendeecees. "I won't sit here and let them ruin my reputation. If they want drama, I'll provide it to them. But it will be on my terms." As the hours went by, the suspense increased. Mendeecees' name became popular on social media, and prominent gossip sites hinted that he might soon speak out. There were those who thought he was going to make shocking accusations against the producers, while others conjectured that he would reveal some secret scandal. In any case, one thing was certain: everyone was observing. As soon as he pressed the Instagram live button, thousands of people flooded in. It had an electric energy. He had a serious expression as he stared directly into the camera. "All right, let's get one thing straight right now," he started. "My termination was due to my refusal to continue playing their game. not because I was challenging or troublesome. The comment section blew up. People wanted more information, wanted to know who he was talking about and what he meant. Mendeecees spoke steadily yet passionately as he leaned closer. Many of you are unaware of the true workings of this show. They wanted me to be involved in something that contradicted my values, to participate in some staged, fabricated mess that would damage my reputation. And when I refused, they decided I was a problem. There has always been backstage drama on reality TV, but this was a straightforward charge. Not only did he allude to a conflict with the producers, but he explicitly stated that they had attempted to control his plot and that they had fired him when he resisted. So what did they want you to accomplish? After a fan's comment appeared on the screen, Mendeecees grinned. Let's just say that if I had followed their ridiculous idea, you guys would be seeing a totally other, unreal version of me on your screens. And that isn't who I am. At that moment, Yandy's voice could be heard in the distance. Are you certain you want to say all of this? Mendeecees turned slightly, but he remained in front of the camera. I haven't spoken up for far too long, Yandy. And see where that got me. People need to know the truth. Theories erupted in the live chat. Others assumed it had to do with fictitious confrontations with other cast members, while some fans thought he was discussing a love triangle the producers were trying to promote. The most startling conjecture, however, was when Mendeecees' eyes flitted as he read the comment from an anonymous account that had previously collaborated with him. He ain't lying. They did the same thing to me. You see? I'm not alone. They've been making individuals into villains and transforming real-life situations into a staged catastrophe for the sake of ratings for years. And the moment you don't comply, you're out. The internet exploded. Numerous blogs began covering his allegations in real time, and some former cast members even began making insinuations about their personal interactions with the show's creators. Despite the pandemonium, Mendeecees wasn't finished yet. Let me ask you all something, he said firmly. Why do you think so many love and hip-hop pioneers just disappear out of thin air? Do you genuinely believe they all simply left, or do you think some were forced out? The conversation was raging. At the heart of the widespread conspiracy ideas at the moment was Mendeecees. He'd done what he set out to do. He'd modified the story, flipped the screenplay, and elevated the producers. Unbeknownst to him, however, this was only the start of a much larger storm. As the storm burst all around him, Mendeecees was astounded. Since rumors of his dismissal started to circulate, the reality TV industry had been in flames. What hurt the most, though, was how many people he had once thought of as family were abandoning him. Then, in the final betrayal, an insider from the production crew revealed the alleged official reasons for his dismissal, portraying him as a burden to the show and a challenging collaborator. Mendeecees was incensed. His silence had been too long, but now, it was time to get his name cleared. He sat at home and scrolled through countless messages and comments, some from supporters and many from people who had already written him off. Mendeecees got too comfortable, and they booted him. One comment said, he thought he was untouchable. Guest Mona proved him wrong, said another. His phone was constantly ringing with calls from old co-stars, reporters, and even some industry insiders who wanted the real tea. He wasn't yet prepared to speak, though, not until he had the opportunity to share his perspective. From the other side of the room, Yandy could see the fire in his eyes. With a tough yet gentle tone, she stated, "You can't let them control the narrative. You understand how this industry operates. If you remain silent, they will continue to distort the facts." Mendeecees let out a harsh sigh. "You don't think I'm aware of that? They're painting me as someone I'm not. And you know full well that I didn't do half of what they're accusing me of. This isn't just a simple misunderstanding, though." Yandy nodded, sitting next to him. Putting a hand down his face, Mendeecees looked up at her and said, "So, what's the move? Because staying cooped up in here reading comments isn't going to fix anything. I will go live." Yandy's eyes widened. "And I'm going to set the record straight tonight. Are you certain that's the best approach?" Mendeecees retorted, "Let them try, knowing that they would attempt to misrepresent anything you said. They want drama. I'm not going to sit here and let them ruin my reputation." As the hours went by, the suspense grew. I'll give them drama, but only on my terms. Mendeecees' name became popular on social media, and prominent gossip sites hinted that he could soon speak out. There were others who thought he was going to make shocking accusations against the makers, while others conjectured that he would reveal some secret scandal. In any case, one thing was certain: everyone was observing. As soon as he pressed the Instagram Live button, thousands of people flooded in. It had an electric energy. He had a serious expression as he stared directly at the camera. "All right, let's get one thing straight right now," he started. "I wasn't dismissed for being challenging or for stirring up trouble." The comment section erupted. "I was fired because I refused to play their game any longer." People wanted more information, wanted to know who he was talking about and what he meant. Mendeecees spoke steadily yet passionately as he leaned closer. "There are a lot of things you guys don't know about the true nature of this event. They wanted me to participate in something that contradicted my values and to support a staged, fabricated catastrophe that would damage my reputation. And when I refused, at that point, they determined that I was a problem." Reality TV had always had backstage drama, but this was a straightforward charge. Not only did he allude to a conflict with the producers, but he explicitly stated that they had attempted to control his plot and that they had fired him when he resisted. A fan's comment appeared on the screen. "So, what was it they wanted you to do?" Mendeecees grinned. "Let's just say that if I had followed their narrow plan, you guys would be viewing an entirely different and unreal version of myself on your televisions. And I'm not like that." Yandy's voice became audible in the background at that moment. "Are you certain you want to say all of this?" Mendeecees turned slightly, but he remained in front of the camera. "Yandy, it's time people knew the truth. I've been silent for too long. Look where that got me." Theories erupted in the live discussion. Others assumed it had to do with fictitious confrontations with other cast members, while some fans thought he was discussing a love triangle the producers were trying to promote. The most startling conjecture, however, was when Mendeecees' eyes flitted as he read the comment from an anonymous account that had previously collaborated with him. "He ain't lying. They did the same thing to me. You see, I'm not alone. They've been making individuals into villains and transforming real life into a staged catastrophe for the sake of ratings for years. And you're out the moment you stop cooperating." The internet went wild. Numerous blogs began covering his allegations in real time, and some former cast members even began making insinuations about their personal interactions with the show's creators. Despite the pandemonium, Mendeecees wasn't finished yet. "Let me ask you all something," he said firmly. "Why do you think so many of the pioneers of love and hip-hop simply disappear? Do you honestly believe that they all simply choose to leave? Or did some of them get pushed out, in your opinion?" The conversation erupted. At the heart of the widespread conspiracy ideas at the moment was Mendeecees. He'd done what he set out to do. He'd modified the story, flipped the screenplay, and elevated the producers. Unbeknownst to him, however, this was only the start of a much larger storm. Mendeecees has revealed the truth, but is this the first step? Will the industry give him another chance as a result of his bombshell discoveries? Or is his career officially over? Supporters are split. Some think Mendeecees should be given justice, while others think he caused this. You now have the opportunity to determine if Mendeecees should return to the show or if this is his last chapter. Post your opinions in the comments section. Additionally, if you were shocked by this unexpected revelation, please remember to like, subscribe, and enable notifications because this drama is far from over.